Hey y'all, I'm Suni,
Hey, this your girl Liv.
and welcome to
Colorful Situations, a conversation about love, marriage, and everything in between. Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
We back at it. We back at it again.
Hey y'all.
So, as we always do, we identify how we're feeling using our color wheel. Hopefully, you are using it as well.
There is a link.
There
is a link down below.
Yes.
To the Gottman feeling wheel.
Mm-hmm. So, how you feeling?
Today I'm satisfied.
Oh.
Satisfied. Thankful. Satisfied.
Satisfied.
So, I'm gonna be yellow.
Okay. That's different. Yeah, great.
I mean, deep down I'm green. Deep down I'm green.
Okay.
So, how are you?
For me, I'm going to be energetic.
Okay.
So that is orange. That is orange. I'm going to be energetic. I am energetic because I done found out some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ready to
get to it.
I'm ready to get to it.
Okay.
I'm ready to get to it and be a little bit more, pump it up, pump myself up, and just figure out where to go.
On a new track.
Taking some steps. Forward.
All right. Well, that's good. I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Now, what are we talking about today?
Well, I'm always thinking about something. And I thank you for letting me do that. I thank you for letting things just fly off of this head. So, let me just give you let me just set the scene.
Okay.
If your relationship was a garden, and the garden was organic, and it just had everything that it needed. Weeds, bugs, all those things come up. But in its natural state, it just have everything that it really needs to be a good garden. It was intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
Now take that garden and thoughts of that garden and apply it to a relationship. Because when we become one in a marriage, in a committed relationship, does it organically come together? Do you just intertwine by itself because that's who you pick? Or do you have to do something about it?
I know that there's this thing called kismet.
Okay.
I think something like that is organic. Oh, I just so happened to be that was coincidence. Oh, I just happened to bump into you and
love at first sight.
Yeah, down, drop my coffee and look up and you got your hand. Organic. We'll say that meeting is organic.
Yeah.
But when you meet someone, my thoughts, of course, when you meet someone, you have to do something. Mm-hmm. Whether it's just saying hello or hey, sending a text, doing some research to find out the phone number or who this person is, looking them up on Facebook, checking their background,
right,
paying for them checks, all of that kind of stuff. You have to do something for something to something.
Yeah. Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I was going to say in this topic that some may say, oh, good relationships, the best relationships are the ones where you don't have to do anything. Others may say, everything worth having is worth doing something for. Or where I've heard it, where much is given, much is required. Meaning you are required to do some things if you gonna get some good things.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about today.
So are you saying that there are some people out there that are saying that relationships will just be great, will just be good without any work?
Yeah.
A relationship can just be good with no work?
That it can just come together.
How does it come together?
Organically.
But how does it come together?
So for me, when I think of that garden, let's go back to that garden. Okay, hey, we're gonna follow me.
Listen, this lady keep trying to talk about organic in a relationship and talking about it in a garden. Talk about it in a person.
I am. I'm gonna show you.
But don't use the garden.
Well, some people had to see it. Some people had to see it. Okay. You have 2 cells. You have a person A and a person B.
Mm-hmm.
They come together in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When they come together in this relationship, there are sunny days, there are rainy days.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what those persons do in this, is what either allows them to woven or entangle themselves together,
Mm-hmm.
or they can do things that would spread them apart,
Mm-hmm.
or allow tension in weeds and outside people, life, work, all of these different things come in between that root, that relationship, and pull it apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a person that thinks that you have to do something for it. But there are some people that say, I want a relationship that's easy. I shouldn't have to work. It shouldn't be that hard. We should be compatible. And it should just flow.
Well, how do you know you're not compatible unless you do things, say things, talk about things?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if you're compatible with the person unless you go through things. Something has to happen to know, oh yeah, we think alike on that. Because even if you're in the dating stage where you're saying, oh well, I like yellow and green. So oh yeah, I like yellow and green too. And then 3 years down the line,
I love purple.
Long story short, you have to go. I think that you have to go through things and not necessarily negative things.
Yeah.
You just have to go through things. You have to have experiences together to know that you're compatible, in my opinion, to know how compatible you are.
Yeah.
So
I think that for some people, maybe it's the thought of work. Like if I think about, I have to communicate with you, I have to think about you, I have to do this, I have to do that, it may come as work. And so some people may be like, why do I got to do all of that? Why can't I just be me and just do whatever it is that I need to do naturally? I think maybe they're saying organic is just naturally giving things. But when I hear organic, I feel like organic means you do nothing to it. That's why the people in the grocery store charge you an extra $2 because it ain't no preservative or nothing else added to it. It's by itself. Naturally, I can understand that naturally we are who we are, and because I'm a naturally a person who naturally is very accommodating, or if I'm naturally filled with compassion for my mate, then that's just something that's going to come. And my mate can see that and say, you know what? She's very accommodating, or she's very about me. So I'm going to be strong, but I'm still going to be about her. there's still something that I'm going to put forward to, right? So I think natural more than organic, because that organic word throw me off.
Me too. And thinking about what you just said, we have to be on the same page. Because what you just said, thinking about if I am naturally this way and your partner sees, oh, well, yeah, I see that she's that way, but I'm going to be strong, but we still have to be on, not in the same paragraph, just on the same page with what's going on between us.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you're not open to me being nurturing to you because you're not used to it, it's going to cause a problem until you figure out, that I'm not trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
But then who knows how long that'll take.
And maybe that has something to do with it too, right? When we first get together, because we are bringing something else to it, our little weed eater bag full of all of these things, maybe because we have this little bit of wall up, we can't really see the naturalness in each other, or we're not really being natural. We're kind of like, oh, I'm here, I picked you, I loved you, I'm gonna be with you. But because I got this bag over here and this wall up, I'm just gonna keep one eye on you.
Why you pick me then?
Because by nature, naturally, some people who are hurt, even though they're ready to be with you and they pick you and they know that that's what they need, when it's getting into it and you start telling them, be holding them accountable, then it's like, wait, what now?
It's not easy. If it's not easy for you anymore, then what's the next step?
Well, and I think that that's where some people go and start breaking off relationships thinking, oh, it's not easy, it should just flow. But then they miss out on really digging out who they are. Because this is what I heard at one point, that being with the right person is like holding a mirror up to you. It's not where everything is all smooth and it's, it's where you start seeing some things. And you start seeing some things about yourself that may need to have some work on. And because you want to do better for yourself and that relationship, then you end up doing it. Or there are certain things that they may bring out and point out to you. Not that they're trying to hurt you, but because they love you enough to hold you accountable, that other chick didn't hold you accountable for it. I'm just saying, that other one didn't hold you accountable. Yeah, family. I'm just saying. So think about it. There are some things, and sometimes I've been in relationships where people just let me do whatever and then get into the next relationship and that person is like, you cannot act like this. This is not what that is, right? And at first I'm mad. I'm like, what you mean this ain't what that is? But if I really took a look at myself, they were just trying to help me. It was just for my own benefit to start digging into some stuff and say, yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. And some people, maybe they get upset at that and that's what they're calling work, and that's why they don't want to do it.
But what do you want to do? You want to be able to just do what you want to do when you want to do it, not do other things, not do what you need to do for your relationship, and run. You want to cut and run when you don't want to do any of the things that need to be done for the growth of you and your relationship. You gonna run?
Well, some people are just not ready to be self-aware. Because sometimes ultimately that's just what it is. There's some down in there. It's down in there, but you ain't ready to sit with it. You ain't ready to deal with it. But that one that is your one, that got your number, is going to be like, no, we moving now forward. We not going nowhere until you come on and understand what I'm saying about this.
Oh, and you know what? The people do say that when it's the right person, then you'll do what it is that, okay, let me go back. You already know what you need to be doing. You already know what you need to be doing, but you want to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But when that right person comes along, you'll change your whole thing up.
That is true.
Because, listen, I feel like grown people grown. You know how a relationship works.
Yeah.
You know that you can't do ABCD and still have XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Get that right one? You be doing ABCD, and
AAA and BBBB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That made me think about that. Okay.
For sure. And really, that's really what it ultimately comes down to. Are you ready to even be intertwined with someone?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we think that we are. We're ready for relationships, and we may not be.
You like what it looked like. You like what it looked like to have somebody to come home to sleep in the bed with and all this other kind of stuff. But you got to work.
Yeah.
This is a job. This is a job. And sometimes you're not going to get paid, but you still got to go to work.
That part. But I don't even, and I say that a lot too. I say, look, you got to work. You got to do some things. But maybe just us putting that word work on it, maybe they feel like, well, if it's a relationship, something that I enjoy, something that I want to be, why do we have to say work? Why can't it just be commitment?
How many gloves? How many kids' gloves is it around here?
A lot.
Oh, well. And I know that you the word lady.
I'm a fluffer. Pretty bower. Mm-hmm.
It's work. You got to put some effort. You got to do work and effort, whether it's, let's just be committed. Because work is direct and to the point. When you say committed could mean a lot of stuff. But work means that you have to do something.
Action.
Yes, it means that it's an action word.
Action.
But when you hear commit, oh, well, we're gonna commit to one another. That can mean a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's something that you don't have to do.
Yeah, all of that. All of what she just said. So, are you going to be in a relationship? Are you ready to let someone come in, be in your circle, you be able to do some things for them, and them do some things for you? Are you going to be open to that? That's what we're talking about today.
Because ultimately you have to be. You have to be, when you're deciding to connect yourself to another person, you have to be willing to be open. You don't have to start out wide open, but you have to be open. You have to be willing to be open.
Yeah.
If not, what are we here for? You can stay by yourself.
Okay, so moving right along.
Just saying.
My first question is, can relationships work or remain strong with not putting any effort?
Nothing will remain strong without any effort.
Even if it's two people who don't want to put any effort into it and they're like, oh, you're just like me and we're fine and we can just sit over here and not hardly talk. You go do your thing and I go do my thing and we'll just be,
Just be what?
Well, they do have a term of a partnership. A partnership. So people who are married and being in different states, or not because of circumstances, but because that's what they want to do. They will never be in the same household, living in two different, maybe in the same city, but I got a house on the north side and you got a house on the south side. But they are now calling that a partnership.
I didn't know that. I can imagine that does work for people. As long as you're on the same page, but that still requires effort.
Yeah.
It still requires effort. You still have to sit down and make a decision. Okay, well, you still have to make a plan.
Yeah.
You still have to figure out who's gonna do what, when we're gonna meet up, When we gonna? What you gonna?
Yeah.
Are we going on vacation? Are we gonna have you? You still have to do things, even if you're in a partnership. Is that what you say?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Okay. So even if y'all live in two different places, it's still things that you have to do to keep that going. I think because I could just be a stranger on the other side of town, and what are we even talking about? What are we getting together for?
Yeah.
What's the point? What are we getting together for?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying people that live apart because of circumstances. That's different. We know we know what we getting together for.
Yeah.
We know when we're getting together, we're planning all that kind of stuff. But why are we together?
Yeah. And I do
benefit friends with benefits.
Girl.
Do people still say
that? They call them yay-yays now.
I'm gonna ask my brother about that. I don't know.
That's my little yay-yay.
What is that?
My little yay-yay.
That's a friend with benefits?
Yeah, you come on yay-yay.
But what does it mean?
Yes, and that's my yes. That's my little yay-yay. That ain't nothing but, old school friends with benefits, cut buddy, that shit little yay-yay.
Oh, well, this just make me think. So I'm in a relationship with someone and we decide that we're going to live apart, but we're actually just friends. If this is a person that you just want to be intimate with when you want to, if it's a person that you want to travel with when you want to,
a companion, you should just get a dog. Yeah, that's what I say. That's a dog.
I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that, man.
I mean, I'm saying that. Just get a dog. If you know you want somebody that I really don't want any real responsibilities. I really don't want to, care for somebody. I really don't want to be around with this person not even all day, every day, but go home to lay under the same roof with this person. And I'm talking about marriage. Now, relationship, I can say when I'm in a relationship, I may not call it a committed relationship, but you could be over there and I could be over here. We could date. I could do that. But in a marriage, no, we gonna be under the same roof, right? We're going to be under the same roof. I cannot do that whole. I can't.
Cheryl Lee Ralph. Her and her husband live separately.
There's a lot of people who do it.
It works for them. They doing things.
But what else are you doing now? And that's the other thing that I like to talk about too. Sometimes with like so many people be like, "Oh, that's work. That's work to do this, or do that, or whatever." But we're gonna be in a different state. But you over there working with somebody else because you over there calling somebody else. You over there making sure somebody else lights are on. You over there making sure that somebody else is taken care of. You calling that person before you lay your head down at night.
Does that mean that I don't want to be with you, but I want to make sure I have you one in the pocket. One in the pocket. I'm going to keep you in my pocket so that when I am ready, we could come together
and organically intertwine.
One in the pocket. That's what that is. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Could be, but there's statistics that are showing that people and their marriages are really thriving being apart. There's another study, or they call it divorce rooms. Instead of getting divorced, we sleep in separate rooms. Same household, but we're in separate rooms.
We're better off as friends, but we can still live together.
And still do taxes together. You can still be on my benefits. So ultimately, we're saying. To be intertwined. There's some work, and all this other stuff is you're not intertwined. You're separate, doing separate things. To me,
I don't think that would be something that I would do intentionally, unless I don't know now. If you get 30, 40 years in, you might change your mind and be like,
You just gone to the upper room.
yeah, to the upper room. The upper room? Girl, who in the world is talking about the upper room? Not the upper room.
I'm saying the upstairs room. You know,
the other room, not the upper room, the other room. Ma'am, I don't know. You better watch out. Talk about the upper room. I'm saying the other room.
Insurance policy, look.
I don't have no words.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I do know that there's different stages, right? You know what I mean? Like you said, if we've been married 25 years, we've been married 30 years, we well off in our 60s or 65. We've been married 30 years, and you come to me talking about something, I want a divorce. I may be like, oh, child, it's this new thing called a partnership. You just gone to go over there. Ain't nobody taking apart all this stuff that we done.
All this
30-something, 40, 50 years.
You know what? The upper room might have been right. And something like that. When you put it that way, talk about that, you might be right. The upper room might be it.
Oh, yeah, I'd be mad. I'd be mad because I have invested in and think about it. When I'm talking about interlocking, see, a lot of people think that when you're married, you're just these two different people, and you just stay like this or whatever, right? But the ultimate goal for me in a partnership, when a business, merges with another business, at some point you can't see the identity. You cannot see that these are two different companies. Mm-hmm. They come together and they do a goal for the same of both of them together
as one.
So now we're not just Foot Locker and Locker Mate. We are Megafoot.
Yeah.
Right?
Change your name.
Everything is different. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Like really coming together and really being a unit and being one. And that takes work.
It's work.
It takes work because you got two different thought processes, two different backgrounds, maybe even two different beliefs. Mm-hmm. And now you got
a lot more different mental
thought processes.
A lot more than two. Especially, with me. I got a lot of things going on up here, but
a lot of different thought processes. And you're saying that you can just melt that together without doing anything?
No. I would say it could take, you think about the Megafoot. Mm-hmm. How long does it take? Not even that. Just thinking about Sprint and T-Mobile.
Yeah.
I've been with Sprint since summer 82. Mm-hmm. Now they're T-Mobile.
Yeah.
I still see them as Sprint. I can't remember how long it's been, mm-hmm. That they merged. But I still see them as Sprint. Mm-hmm. Even though, I'm thinking they had to go around and take down all of the Sprint signs.
Yes.
They had to change all of the bills on Sprint, all of the letterheads of Sprint, change all of their networks from Sprint and all of this other kind of stuff. I don't know how long that stuff takes, but I'm pretty sure a lot of work went into it.
Yeah.
So,
and they still did it.
Yeah.
All so that they can be called one thing.
Yeah.
All so that they can move as one thing.
Then larger.
One company.
More connections.
And maybe if we do look at it like that, now you just hit on something. The fact that this is a benefit. Mm-hmm. Maybe people are looking at it and being like, oh, it got to be easier. I don't want to do this and that. Because you're not seeing the benefit of having that other person with you and having them come into your cell.
It's kind of like more of everything.
Right.
You get more ideas.
Yeah.
More money. More. You can have more. You can do more. Because, like I always say, rent high here these days. You could have more. You could do more. You could have more. Pouring into each other. Like I said before, pouring into each other when the other person needs it and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, you're right. It's
not even
a benefit.
Not even that. We are not perfect people. So there are places where we are not strong at. Mm. And if you get the right person, if you get the person that is for you, then that person is going to be strong in areas where you are not.
Yep.
And when you have 2%, they're going to have 98.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Give me a high five here.
So, the last question that I would just want to ask and touch on is that we talk about this work and things that we have to do. Is all work visible?
No. Therapy 101. No.
Right.
The work that you do inside, you do this work from the inside. At a certain point, it does show. At a certain point, it does show, but you still have to do that work inside of your brain, your heart, your body.
Yes.
And then it does come up and out.
Yes.
You know, but it doesn't start.
Right.
But it ends in the visible.
Right. Yeah. And I wanted to bring that point out because for those people who feel like they don't have to do any work in that relationship for that other person, you owe it to yourself to do that work for you. It starts right here when you decide to move forward to be with someone, or you just decide that you want to share your life with someone. Do the work here so that it may be a little bit more smoother. Mm-hmm. And everybody's relationship is not the same. Mm-hmm. It don't look the same. Some people, they can get along and they don't have to have little bumps in the road. But don't let people tell you that they ain't never had now. Because there are some, and going back to the garden, there's going to be rain. But that rain and those turbulence and those times where it's a little rough, just ultimately, like you said, allows you to learn how to work together. It allows you to do something different, to till the soil, to purge the tree, which is ultimately what?
Work. All right, y'all. Well, now we're checking temperatures. Now, if you are the person over there that feel like you don't have to do work, well, actually, that person, just like that person that feels like they don't have to do work, they're in the green. But the person that they're with that needs them to work, or not necessarily needs them, that will benefit from them working,
is totally in the red.
Mm-hmm. If you are getting to a place where you can see, ding, yeah, I gotta do this. Let me pull these boots up.
Go ahead and get this weed out.
Oh my goodness. You're in the yellow.
Yeah.
Now, if you're on the same page and you realize that I have to do something for myself, and for my partner, you're in the green. If I have to do something to make us better, to make me better, which making me better will ultimately make us better. Yeah. You're in the green. Yeah. Good job.
Wonderful job, especially if you identify that you need to do it. And just going back to the red for the person who desires you to do a little bit of work, but you're that person that's not doing anything. I want to say that person is ultimately in the red too, because at some point, all of that not doing something is not going to do nothing but grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you're going to look so that those weeds are going to be so high you can't even see your partner. And then you really going to have to work.
Well, desiring person, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with you, okay? Don't let them people get you in the weeds. Yeah. Don't let them, listen. Nope. Oh.
Well, all in all, that's a red.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, as always, we're going to share, what could help this situation. What do you got?
So one of my first things is communicate. Mm-hmm. Because if you're that person that doesn't feel like you want to do work, then maybe you shouldn't be with someone that's
desires.
And that's kind of like being with someone that's a healed person, getting with an unhealed person. Mm-hmm. And even though unhealed people get in relationships and they work through it, they're able to work through it. Not everybody can.
And that's true.
So my thing, communicate. Communicate if you're not that person, if you're really not ready, if you just want someone there because you don't want anyone else to have them, communicate. And I know that sounds easier said than done because people want what they want and they're going to do what they have to do to get what they want, you know.
Communicate and go buy a dog.
What's your resolve? Oh my goodness. What is your resolve, honey?
So for me, and it's not a laughing matter, but I mean
tickle me, girl.
But ultimately, you know, stop wasting folks' time. It's really ultimately what it is, because you are where you are. And like you said, communicate that. But don't hold up and do what she said and just get with somebody because you don't want them to go to somebody else. Like, you know, if you just want somebody to be there when you get home, just do that. And it's called a pet.
Get a dog. Or a cat. Get your cat.
That's it. Hey. So my thing is just remind yourself or remember that not all relationships look alike. Right. So there are going to be some people that you get with that desire a little bit more than what the other person's did. So once you identify if this is something that looks a little bit different than what you're used to, ask yourself, is this person worth it?
Am I worth it, actually?
Am I worth having something that was better than what I don't have anymore? Yep. And it's probably better because she's requiring a little more.
Yep. Am I worth it?
We both worth it. Yes. Yeah. And then talk with each other like you said, but ultimately determine how that looks. Once you say, hey, this is a little different. I ain't really been that person, but okay, yeah, I'm worth it and she's worth it. Now determine, what does that look like for you? How is that relationship going to work for y'all? Don't base it on anybody else.
Right. Because you know you mess around and this social media have you thinking, I mean, if that's what you're basing on it, because I know a lot of people, you know, look at someone and say that what's couple goals or relationship goals.
Hashtag, relationship goals.
What happens when the camera turns off?
Or just being around those people who have been married 35 years, or your parents who've been married 20, 40, 50, you know, these people who you idolize, who have really good relationships. There are some who will be very vulnerable and tell you what they've been through to get there.
Right.
But realize that when you first start out, that is not going to be what is going to get there. And there are some, if you sit down and talk with them, they're there 50 years because they realized they had to do something. They did the work. They worked through it.
On the other hand, you know, there are some people that's still in those 50-year relationships for other reasons. Like,
kids.
I stayed for the kids, or I didn't have any experience, so I just stayed here and I just dealt with what whatchamacallit was doing. You know,
she ain't gonna get my benefits.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Talk to those people who have been together for a long time and who will be vulnerable enough to tell you, look, it ain't sunshine all the time.
Sunshine and rainbow.
But we got through it. And I loved her enough to stay. I loved her enough to put her through it. Or not put her through it. I loved her enough to stick through it. But I just loved her enough to stay.
Okay, y'all. We have made it to the question section. So, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt like, I've done all I can. I can't do nothing else?
Don't want to do nothing else.
Don't want to do anything else. Yeah. Have you found yourself in that situation? Have you found yourself on the other side of the situation where you were with a person that didn't feel like they had to put any effort, work, water, grass, put down soil, you know what she's talking about over there? Have you found yourself in a situation like that? If so, how did you get through it?
Yeah.
Did you cut and run? Did you stick through it? How do we want to know?
Yeah.
Give us some tips. As Olivia always says, give us some tips. what did you do? How did you change your mindset to say, you know what? I'm going to stick it out.
Yeah.
Lastly, what did you do to change the cycle of, well, no, I do want to work. I love my wife. I love my spouse. I do. How did you change your mindset to stay there and not always have one foot out the door?
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's what some people do, especially when they're not working or they don't want to put in effort in.
But, you know, that's work too. Just being on that, keeping that one foot over there. So ultimately you're doing something. Whether the work is benefiting a good or benefiting bad, you're still doing something.
Something.
Yeah, for sure. So, y'all, that's what we talked about. Organically intertwined. Can we do it? Is that such a thing? And does it take work? We talked about yes. Hell yes. It takes work. It takes you to do something. And even if that work doesn't mean that it's something that you start with them, but something that you started with yourself. And now that person can benefit from you because you have done the work on the inside of you. And you're open. You're open to things. We talked about, you know, just is work visible. Some works are not. Some things can be very small and you may not see it or think that it's work, but the other person on the other side can be like, you know what, my baby, when she puts my lunch together, she just folds in my napkin so cute. And you just think that that's just something you've done just because something your mama used to do for you and you just do it because that's just nature.
Right. Yeah.
Just habit. But for her, you folded this for her. And that's work. But those small things do add too. So don't just look at everything so big. The little things count.
They do.
We talked about some resolve. My good friend says communicate. Communicate if you do not want to do that. Don't get with someone who desires that and then you're just going along thinking that at some point it's just going to mesh together. Be like, hey, I'm a person that don't want to do this. What do you want? Let's figure this out. I said, realize that relationships are not going to look the same, but ask yourself, is this person worth it? Am I worth it? And when you do, y'all determine how that's going to look together. That's what I got.
We want to thank y'all for sitting in with us on this colorful situation. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, you can listen out for us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And remember, not all colorful situations are the same, but you have the power to change your view.